everyone, welcome to week 3 of Tot Time Summer Camp. So hopefully you just listened to our story about our porcupine, okay? And the porcupine in that story, right, she had a smooth, furry coat at first in the beginning, and then by the end, her coat was gone, and now she has all these prickly little quills, just like a porcupine does now. And this week's theme is touch. Okay, so that's another one of our senses, is when we touch things and we can feel different textures or how hot or cold something is. So if we were to touch the porcupine in that story, she would have felt soft with her fur, and now she would have felt prickly with all of her quills. So this week's craft is going to be about texture, okay? We're going to feel a bunch of different plants and make a beautiful painting out of it. So what you need for this activity is in your brown bag, there should be a smaller bag in it which says Week 3 Craft Nature Painting. So go ahead and get that out. And then you will also need your paints and your paint brushes that we used during week 1. Okay? So go ahead and get those materials out. And then these instructions are inside of your packet if you want to follow along that way too. So I'm going to get my canvas out of the week 3 bag. It's a cute little tiny canvas, and it comes with an easel whenever we're done. This has plastic on it, so go ahead, have a guardian help you open that up. And remember, especially if you're outside, to throw your garbage away inside. We don't want to leave anything outside that could destroy any little bugs or creatures' homes. Put that in a bag. Okay, so go ahead and set your easel aside, and now we have our little canvas. So just go ahead and set your canvas down, and then inside your week 3 bag we have leaves, which are different oak leaves. They've been dried, so these are real leaves that were from outside and someone dried them, so they're easy for us to use. They're not crumbly. So we have our leaves, and then we have some pine cones as well. So because our theme is touch, I want you to touch all of our pine cones and our leaves. Oh, my paper's flying away. Okay. So what do they feel like to you? The pine cone is kind of prickly, right? Kind of just like that porcupine in our story. And then our leaves, what do those feel like? There's the stem here. We have the leaf itself. You can feel all its different veins. There's a bunch of different textures that we can touch with our fingers. So the leaf kind of feels it's smoother than the pine cone is, but you can also feel all the lumps from the veins and stuff. So that's what those feel like, and what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can get these textures to transfer onto our canvas. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to get out our paintbrush and our paint set from the first week. So I got my set of paints. You can use a sponge too. The sponge might be easier to use. And then I want you to pick one of your favorite leaves or pine cones. We can use multiple. Okay, I'm going to start with a leaf at first. So just pick your favorite leaf that you want to use. I gave you a bunch. Okay, you don't have to use the whole leaf if you don't want. You can just use a little part of it. And what we're going to do is the part that you want to show up on your canvas, we are going to cover in paint. So I'm going to pick a color. I'm going to use the color yellow, and you use whatever colors you want. Okay? So I'm going to take my leaf. I'm going to use the paintbrush, and I'm going to cover the part of the leaf with the paint. And you can use a sponge if you want to on this. So just pick the color that you want to use. And paint the part of the leaf that you want to show up on your canvas. And then when we're done with this, then you can display them in your room or wherever you want on the little easel that it came with. Okay, so I have my leaf painted. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to face my leaf so that the paint is facing downwards. And then I'm going to lay it down on the canvas. And I'm going to press it down. That way the paint gets onto the canvas. So keep pressing it down, and then hopefully all of those little veins and different textures will show up on our canvas. So we press it down, and then gently pick it up. And look, so now I can see where that big vein was in my leaf. And all the different textures. I can see some of the paint is glopping up. That's because there were different textures on our leaf. We felt the texture with our hand. We could feel that there was a bump where the veins were. And now we can see it with the paint on our canvas. And then I just want you to do that as many times as you would like with the different leaves and the pine cones that you have. So I'm going to use a pine cone. Let me get a different paintbrush for the other color, because I don't have any water. And I will use the blue color on my pine cone. And I'm just going to try and paint the side of the pine cone with whatever color you would like. We're going to see what different types of textures we can get with the pine cone compared to the leaf. Okay, so I got that painted. This one's going to be a little bit tricky. We can try and lay it down. Let's see what happens when we press it down. We just got some little dots. See what happens if I press harder. There we go. If you press a little bit harder, we can get those different textures. See, a lot of paint didn't come off like the leaf did because our pine cone is prickly. It's not flat like the leaf is. But we got different textures, right? Because the paint, it's sticking up in other places that it's not. So we can see that because the pine cone sticks up on here, it's not going to completely lay down on our canvas. So that's pretty cool. So you can use this to put some different textures on it. And now I'm just going to repeat that with a bunch of different leaves and pine cones and colors, okay? So just, you can add as many leaves and pine cones as you would like in as many different colors as you would like. I'm going to add another leaf. I'm gonna use red this time. Just cover it the best you can. This does get a little bit messy, so if your parents or guardians want to put down like some paper towels or plastic before you do this, will be good. So I have my paint, and now I'm going to press it down, facing down. I'm going to hold it and keep pressing it down on the canvas. Make sure you pressed all the different spots. And then I'm going to slowly lift it up. I'm just going to keep adding more colors. Now I'm going to use green. Okay, and I'm going to press it down. Do it whatever direction you would like. And lift it up. Doesn't that look cool? Because now I can see, I'm adding more colors, I can see all the different textures. I'm going to use the Pinecone again. I like the blue, how that looks. Kind of looks like a little sky with the different textures. And I'm gonna dot mine around. Kind of use it as a paintbrush. Do whatever you would like. If you would like to try and make these look like someone, maybe try and make people with the leaves. I'm trying to kind of make like a cool sky background. Just use as many colors and different textures as you would like. See how many different shapes you can get. See what different textures you can get with the leaves and the pine cones. Remember, our theme is touch. So we touched these. We saw that some were smooth, some were rough, and now we can see that they have different textures because they're going onto the canvas different ways. And then I'm going to use another pine cone. I'm going to try and get some yellow. And each leaf in Pinecone is different, so try and use a bunch of them and see what different types of textures you can get. Whoop. You know, this pinecone was a little bit more spiky than the other one, so it didn't put as much paint down, because it has a different texture than the other pinecone. Because each pinecone and each leaf is unique and different. Now I'm going to do some red. Okay, and now I'm done, just for me. You can keep going if you want. You can keep putting more leaves and pine cones on. And then, like I said, we're going to look at all, once you're all done, look at all the different textures you got. You can see all the veins on the leaves. And where those were, you can see how it was smooth on the leaf in other places, so a lot of paint got down. You can see where some pine cones were bigger than the others, so the paint is bigger. Or the pine cone was spikier, so it made little dots. And then you're just going to let this dry. And once it's dry, you can use this easel that came with it. You're going to put the back out so you can sit it down. And then you can put your painting on here and display it right next to your bed or wherever you would like it. And it looks nice and pretty. So there you have it. We used our sense of touch, and we learned the different textures that we can get from different things in nature, and then we made a pretty painting. So remember to take pictures of all of your crafts, all of your games and activities, and send those to us so we can see the beautiful creations you made. And that's all for our craft. I'll see you at the next video for our game.